So, you want to plan a trip to Machu Picchu and visit one of the 7 wonders of the world, but are not sure how to get started? Then you're in the right place. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Savannah, and I'm the travel blogger and content creator at SLC Travels. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to visit Machu Picchu, how to get there, what to pack, when the best time to visit, everything you will need for taking a trip to Machu Picchu. So the first question is, how do you get there? We took a trip from Washington, D.C. and flew into Lima, Peru. From Lima, you have to take a domestic flight to Cusco. Our trip to Lima was probably around $400 round trip, and then the flight from Lima to Cusco is usually around $50. A trip to Machu Picchu is an adventure in itself. There are actually 3 different ways to visit these Incan ruins. I'll first talk about the way we got there, and then I'll mention 2 other ways that are an option to visit. So from Cusco, we actually took a taxi to the town of Ollantaytambo. From there, we spent the night at a hotel that was actually right at the train station because we planned to have an early train out of there in the morning at around 5 a.m. So we didn't want to really have to hassle with walking through the town and everything, so we booked the only hotel that's actually at the train station. We spent the night in Ollantaytambo, and we woke up, like I said, at 5 a.m. bright and early, ready to get going. From Ollantaytambo, we took the Peru rail that took us into Aguas Calientes, which is the town closest to Machu Picchu. This was about an hour and 45-minute train ride through the jungles of Peru that were absolutely unreal. It was by far the most scenic train ride I have ever been on. It is a little bit costly. I think we spent around $70 for this train ride, but just the views alone were worth it, not even the fact that it's taking you to Machu Picchu. Once we arrived in Aguas Calientes, we had to take a bus which goes from the town, winds all the way up this mountain, and reaches the entrance to Machu Picchu. Buses depart from Aguas Calientes up to Machu Picchu about every 10 minutes and takes 30 minutes to reach the top. I would recommend buying this bus ticket in advance on ticketsmachupicchu.com. The lines for these buses and entrances can get really long, especially if you don't have a ticket in advance, so this will just save you a lot of time and avoid the long lines. This whole route and journey is by far the easiest and most relaxed way to get to Machu Picchu. We opted for this because it does take a lot less time, and since we only had 5 days in Peru, we wanted to cram in as many things as possible, so we just opted for this because it was the quickest. Now, another way to get to Machu Picchu is by taking the Incan Trail. This is known as the best way to reach Machu Picchu, and the hike is ranked among 5 of the most impressive trails in the whole world. It was built by the Incans hundreds of years ago in order to go from Machu Picchu to Cusco. The trail lasts 4 days and 3 nights and travels approximately 39 kilometers. And don't forget about the altitude. You'll be at over 13,700 feet of altitude, or 4,200 meters. This is no joke, guys. I think the Incan Trail is very worth it from everyone I've ever heard that has done it, but it's definitely something that I think you need to be mentally and physically prepared for. Permits to travel the Incan Trail are very limited and need to be reserved several months in advance through their website or through a travel agency. The last route to reach Machu Picchu is by using the hydroelectric. This is a cheaper trip to Machu Picchu versus the train rides and departs out of Cusco. It will take you to the town of Santa Maria and will take about 5 hours. Once you're there, you must take a collective vehicle to the town of Santa Teresa or directly to the hydroelectric station, which is approximately a 2-hour trip. From this hydroelectric station, you can reach Aguas Calientes by walking, and this will also take another 2 hours. But there also is the option from this point that you can take the train, which will get you there in about 20 minutes. Despite the length of this route and the time it'll take to get there, which is approximately 8 hours combined, it is by far the cheapest way to reach Machu Picchu. But keep in mind that it is not recommended to take this route during the rainy season, which are the months January to April, because landslides occur very often and it can be dangerous. How long should you stay? We visited Machu Picchu for 1 day, and honestly, I could have stayed longer. If you want more time, you can get a hotel overnight in the town of Aguas Calientes, and you could take the bus back up to Machu Picchu the next morning. Oftentimes, a lot of people just spend one whole day there, and if you have a more jam-packed schedule or less days in Peru, I would recommend just one day, but make sure you get to the ruins early in the morning like we did, how we took the earliest train to Aguascalientes at 5 a.m. I'd recommend taking the earliest train so that you can have the most amount of time to explore the ruins and take in all the beautiful sights. Do you need to purchase a ticket beforehand? No, you don't have to, but yes, I would recommend that you do so. Especially if you are planning on doing one of the hikes, because those tickets do sell out fairly fast. There are actually 4 different kinds of tickets you can get to enter Machu Picchu. The most common is the Machu Picchu only, which includes entrance to Machu Picchu and a postcard photo while you're there. The next ticket is Ticket to Machu Picchu plus Huayna Picchu. This is one of the hikes that you can do while you're at Machu Picchu. The hike to Huayna Picchu takes about 120 minutes and is around 4 kilometers there and back. It's considered medium or moderate difficulty and is totally worth it because it gives you a completely different perspective of Machu Picchu. The third ticket you can choose is Ticket Machu Picchu plus Mountain. This allows you to visit both Machu Picchu and the Machu Picchu Mountain, which they say is the most panoramic view of Machu Picchu. The last ticket is the Circuit 4 ticket, which is Machu Picchu plus Uchi Picchu, which is a different hike in Machu Picchu, also providing panoramic views. Except it is an easier hike just up an Incan staircase. It's the easiest and shortest of the 3 hikes within the national park. This is the one we opted for because honestly, I didn't know we had done one of the tickets with the hike included, so I was not prepared for the other one, which was much more strenuous. But this one was still so beautiful and totally worth it. The ticket prices vary, but they all are around $45 US. When is the best time to visit? The best time to visit is known as the dry season, which is between May and October. But the main tourist season is between June and August, so I would honestly recommend avoiding those months if you want to have more of the place to yourself. We went in September, and I would totally recommend going then. The weather was perfect, it was sunny still, but it was less packed, which was ideal. We were one of the first ones to enter the park, and we honestly, for about 10-15 minutes, we had part of the place completely to ourselves and we could just really take in the magic of Machu Picchu. What should you pack when planning a trip there? Be prepared for a hike whether you plan on doing one of the hikes there or not, because you're still going to be walking around and exploring for a lot of the day, so you're going to want to be comfortable, be wearing comfortable and flexible clothes, and have shoes that will not give you blisters or be hurting your feet because you will be walking for a lot of the day. I would recommend wearing athletic clothes and hiking boots or shoes. I would also make sure that you bring a raincoat when traveling to Peru in general, whether it's the rainy season or not, because rain is common and you just want to have that to bring with just in case, because you never know. The weather can also change pretty frequently and drastically, so you just want to be prepared for everything. I would also make sure to bring sunscreen. Since you are at a lot higher altitude than most likely we are all used to, you're closer to the sun, you will be getting more rays, and you just want to make sure that your skin is protected. Along with that, make sure to bring sunglasses and a hat to protect your face from the sun rays as well, and your eyes. But the clothing also depends on what season you are visiting, because like I said, if you do plan on visiting during the rainy season, you're going to want to for sure make sure you have a raincoat. I'd actually also bring rain pants that are longer in length, and you'll also want to have a waterproof backpack and just everything waterproof, just so that you are ready in case it does rain. Also, during the rainy season, I would make sure to bring mosquito repellent, because you are going to be in more of a jungle environment and climate, so bugs are more common. Lastly, make sure you do some research on closings. Currently, Peru is having a political crisis, which is making a lot of things closed, including Machu Picchu. Hopefully by the time you guys are watching this and ready to take your trip, that has been figured out, but make sure you are keeping up with the latest updates on both travel requirements or just the situation that is going on in Peru, because it can change pretty frequently and quickly. Now, was it worth it? It is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been. I would go back in a heartbeat, even though it does take an adventure to get there. It is an amazing adventure and totally worth it. Machu Picchu is one of the most unique places I have ever been to, and has been the only place that has given me the this feeling inside of me that I can't even describe. Like, literally just, I felt the history and I felt the beauty, and the moment I walked in and saw it with my own eyes, I'm not kidding, I started crying because it's one of those places that you've always dreamt about visiting and that you've learned about in school, and actually seeing it, the pictures don't even do it justice. I'm serious. It is so magical. The ruins are so beautiful, and it's amazing that they have been preserved for this many years. And just the stories of how they used to transport things along the Incan Trail and how they used to live and communicate is just mind-boggling. It's a really beautiful place. And even besides the ruins itself, the landscape, that's one thing you don't really see in pictures, is how amazing the landscape is as well. Because there's not just that one mountain that you see, there's mountains all surrounding you, some so tall that they have snow on the top of them, and it is just beautiful. So if you've been thinking about taking that trip and pulling the trigger on visiting Peru, this is your sign and this is your time to do it. Now you have all the information to know how to start planning for your trip, how to get there, what to pack, everything. So no more stress. It's time to finally do it. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be sharing lots of different travel vlogs, travel guides, best places to go, how much I spend in a day, all things travel from around the world. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep exploring.